Hi, everyone. This is Kate Westerlin with First Home Mortgage. I'm a loan officer, and I have a real treat for you today. We have Amanda Cronister, a loan processor and rock star here to help us understand what goes into the loan processing stage and help you get a better understanding of what happens once you go under contract. So, Amanda, can you share with us a little bit about what your role is?
Hi, everyone. My role as a mortgage processor is to review the documents, the loan application, all the documents, the bank statements, the pays, W-2s, contracts of sale, to look for anything that might be considered an additional debt on your bank statements that may not be reporting to the credit bureau, to make sure that everything in our loan file is as accurate as possible for the underwriter once they get it, to make sure that we have everything that we need to get a quick, clean closing or conditional approval as soon as possible.
Yeah, awesome. And, it's a great way to help protect our clients, doing this on the front end and ensuring that we are really kind of going through with a fine-tooth comb before it comes to the underwriter so that we can address anything and explain it. So,
Yes.
what would you say is the key to success for a seamless experience? Because so many people, they feel a little bit nervous about the underwriting phase or maybe even just the financing phase.
The key to success for that is communication, between myself, the borrowers, our clients, and you as the loan officer, and the real estate agent. So as long as everybody communicates everything as much as possible, that is the key to success. So if I need something from the realtor, they get back to me in a quick enough fashion so that I have that in the file for whatever I needed to get to the underwriter. If I need something from the borrower, that we communicate effectively either via email or by phone, as to why I'm asking for what I'm asking for and the reason behind what's being requested, and that they provide the documentation as quickly as they possibly can as well too.
Yeah, time is of the essence. And a lot of what we're doing when we request these items is to meet government guidelines or state program guidelines. And we also want to make sure that we keep you within your contract deadlines. So a lot of what your lender, your loan processor, your real estate agent are doing is to really protect you, your investment, and your contract. Because if you were to fall out of your contract deadlines, that could mean that you'd forfeit your earnest money deposit. And we want to make sure that that never happens and it doesn't compromise your opportunity to purchase your home. So, Amanda, we know that there is both borrower eligibility requirements and property eligibility requirements. And sometimes that can be really complex when we're looking at, for instance, condos or HOAs or things like that. So just as a wrap up to this, can you give us a little bit of knowledge of what would those hiccups be and how would we get in front of them?
As far as property eligibility, we'd have to ensure that when we order the appraisal, that the appraisal meets the sales price or exceeds it, which is a great thing.
We happy dance when that happens.
Yes. As far as property eligibility, if the property is a condo, the first thing that we need to get is the contact information for the condo management company. And then we have to order what's called a condo questionnaire. And we order that as quickly as possible because that gives us a lot of information on the property to determine if the property is acceptable as far as if the condo is involved in any litigation, if there is any of the owners that are past due on any of their condo dues, how many, how far behind they are, if they're 30 days, if they're 60 days, and if there's any issues with the condo as far as the number of investor owned that own units in the condo and how many are owner occupied. All that plays a role in the eligibility of the condo to be accepted by either Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. And VA and FHA have their own requirements as well too.
Yeah, and that's that's huge for people to understand, because it's not just us looking at your requirements, which we do at the pre-approval phase, is we're going to look at, proof of income, proof of liabilities. We're going to look at your employment history, and we're going to put all those pieces together. But then once you go under contract, what we do, a big part of, is we need to ensure that the property that you're purchasing conforms to the guidelines that are set in place. So sometimes people think it's a little tumultuous. We're getting a lot of information both from you and from the condo association or homeowners association in order to ensure that all of these pieces are going to fall into the right place. And Amanda does a phenomenal job of just helping to coordinate with different people, because I always like to say there are probably 3 or 4 people you're going to have communication with, but there are over 30 people on the back end that are really working on your loan. And we do everything that we can to ensure a really seamless experience for you, and communicating what goes into that and why it's happening. We're big on education here. We want you to feel comfortable and informed. So with that, Amanda, is there anything else that you would really kind of encourage home buyers as they're considering this process, how to make it smoother, or what to expect in the processing underwriting part of this?
Just back to just communication. If you're going to have to put, something that would come up to where you would have to purchase a new vehicle or have to open an account, just be open with us and let us know. Because that way we can ensure we can get the documentation from you for what the new payment will be, what the monthly obligation will be. And that way we can make sure that the underwriter is aware of all that before we get the final, review by the underwriter to obtain the final clear to close. Everything is about communication. If you decide to, for your homeowner's insurance, if you want to change insurance companies prior to your closing, let us know that. That way we can get the proper documentation in and get it squared away for both our closer and the title company to have that in hand. If anything changes in your income, we need to know that right up front as well too, as soon as possible. If you got a promotion, that's always great. But depending on the loan program, that could be a hindrance in some circumstances.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are some, sometimes what we think might be a small change that can impact the eligibility of your financing. To Amanda's point, if your income, if you got a bonus or a raise or anything of that nature where your compensation structure has changed, that could mean that the financing program that your loan officer had you in is not going to work for you now. So we want to have conversations about that, even with the smallest changes, right before you go under contract and any time between under contract and closing, just so that we can really protect you and advise you. Again, Amanda had mentioned if you need to, buy a car, or if something financial comes into your life, please talk to us before that happens so that we can advise you and say, okay, this would be possible, or it's going to impact it and it'll change something, so that we can discuss with you what it might change. And if your financing would still be a possibility, because there are some cases where it's either, you can have this or you can have the house, but you can't have both. And we want to make sure that you're never put in that position before you make a decision, so that you can, again, feel comfortable and informed. So Amanda, thank you so much for your time. I think this is going to be really well received by anybody. If you guys have questions, my name is Kate Westerlin. I'm a loan officer with First Home Mortgage. When and if you go under contract, you're going to be working with myself and Amanda, and we can't wait to help you. Take care.
We look forward to it. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you.